All right, welcome back to another Spinato Spin. Great to have you here on this chilly evening, but we'll get through it. A little snow on the ground makes us realize that we're right in the middle of winter. That's basically what it does, and spring is right behind winter, so that's always good. And I wanted to talk about today something really important when it comes down to what people have to understand. I always say this, but it's worth repeating. It's all about the attitude. It's all about how you look at things. It's all about not so much what happens, it's really how you handle it. And one of the things that's really pivotal and really helpful towards anyone in any sort of life or whatever they do is building relationships. Building relationships. That's something that they really should teach in school, okay? Really should teach how to become a friend or how to become somebody that people want to be around. And in business and in life, it's all going to come down to that. They say there's basically a couple of circles of relationships you're going to have in your life. People that know you pretty well, people that know you real well, and people that even know what your connection is to your God really well. I mean, that's real important. But you got to pour your life into them to make them help to understand where you're coming from and that you really care about them. You really trust them and they can trust you. Now, how do you do that? Well, one of the best ways to do it is communication. Communication is the key. You got to make sure that people understand what you're saying, when you say it, and what you meant by what you said. There's a simple phrase. They said, the organism or the person that relates to the most people on their level wins. Think about that. If you can contact with people and let them know how much you care about them, the old saying from everything you want to know about anything out there as far as Dale Carnegie talks about how to win friends and influence people. He says people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Well, that's what that's all about. That's what communicating is all about. That's what relating on that level is all about. You have to want to communicate. And you can't do what the Boy Scout did. The Boy Scout, don't be the Boy Scout helping the little old lady crossing the street and getting all beat up. And the father asks him, "Why'd you get all beat up, son?" "Well, I helped the little old lady get across the street." "Yeah, so?" "She didn't want to go." You see what I mean? Those things happen. You start going off on a tangent, you start going somewhere and a person doesn't like it, you're not doing the right approach. What is it? Is it my message or is it the messenger? What's the problem? It could be one or the other, but you got to understand what it is and you got to understand who you're working with and who you're speaking to. And one thing that's real important, and I want to cover this, and we're doing pretty good on time here, but one thing I want to point out real simple is that it's amazing that we had, when we were young, and think about this, you got to relate to this, when we were young, didn't we have a very vivid imagination? Didn't we have an amazing ability to make things up and have fun just thinking about them? Do you ever notice how a little kid really doesn't get down that much? They're always excited about something. You know why? You know what hasn't entered into their brain yet? They haven't started to worry. See, a lot of times we use that imagination, that creativity that we have, and we use it for the wrong thing. We build all these beautiful, colorful pictures. Look at that imagination. Beautiful colors, all the fun things out there. But then we create them in a negative way. We create worry. We create doubt. We can't do that. We got to shift it away. And I'll tell you one thing you can do, and I've talked about this before, meditate on what you really want. Think about what it is that you want. Make that picture as clear as possible in your mind as to where you're going. I talked about this before, and we'll talk about it again. Everybody has 3 stories to tell. No matter who it is, you meet somebody in an airport, you meet somebody standing in line, wherever, they all have 3 stories they can tell. They can tell you about their past, they could tell you about their present, But you know what most people never do? And they do it in a form of negativity and worry. They don't tell you about their future. They don't tell you about where they're going. They don't say, hey, I'm looking to do this, I'm looking to do that, I'm excited about this, I'm excited about that. Most people don't say that. That's not a normal conversation. But you can be different. Once you understand it, you have 3 stories you can tell. Build it in your mind. Make it clear as to what you really want. Do the thing. Do the hard work in your mind, and I'll tell you something great will happen. Here's another thing that's a big help to this whole picture that you're trying to paint. Every morning, after you wipe the sleep from your eyes and you get yourself clear on what you want to do, and you think about what it is you really want, write down as fast as you can, maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 minutes, whatever it takes, 20 ideas that'll help you get your goal. 20 ideas that you feel will help you get to where you're going to go. They're not all going to be good, but I'll tell you what, you do that once a day, then you do it for a week, then you do it for a month, and you'll have this incredible amount of ideas on how you can make yourself better and how you can hit your goals. It's always super to talk to you. The Spinato Spin is always here for you. Catch me on YouTube a little later on after this episode is taped and gotten on board there. There's a whole library of it on YouTube, so go check out the Spinato Spin. 4 o'clock on Monday afternoons, I'm right there for you. Spinato Spin, special seconds for you. Super, be positive, be upbeat, and remember, stop worrying. Build a great future in your mind, and it'll happen. Have a great night, everybody. Take care.